Hello, my friend, and welcome back to Learn English Unleashed. I'm John, and I'm very happy you're here today. As always, I will speak slowly, clearly, and naturally so you can listen, relax, and improve your English step by step. Today, we're talking about something that frustrates almost every English learner. Why do you forget English words while talking? Have you ever experienced this? You learn a word. You understand the word. You see the word in a book. You hear the word in a video. You even remember it perfectly when you're alone. But then something strange happens. You start speaking English. Someone asks you a question. You open your mouth to answer. And suddenly, the word disappears. Your mind becomes blank. You know the word. You learned the word, but you can't say it. If this happens to you, don't worry. You are not alone. Millions of English learners experience the same problem every single day. And here's the good news. The problem is not your memory. The problem is not your intelligence. And the problem is not that you're bad at English. In fact, many learners who forget words while speaking actually know hundreds or even thousands of English words. So why does it happen? And more importantly, how can you stop it from happening? That's exactly what we're going to discover today. Even if your life is busy, even if you're shy, even if nobody around you speaks English, even if you've been learning English for years, by the end of this episode, you'll understand why words disappear from your mind and what you can do to make them come back faster and more naturally. So stay with me, because one small mistake may be secretly making you forget English words every day. Let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, a student sent me a message. He said, "John, I don't understand what's wrong with me." I asked him, "What happened?" He said, "When I read English, I understand a lot. When I watch YouTube videos, I understand most of the words. But when I start speaking, my brain stops working." Maybe you felt the same way. Maybe you've learned a word like confident. Maybe you've learned a word like improve. Maybe you've learned a word like opportunity. You know the meaning. You recognize the word immediately. But during a conversation, you can't remember it. The student thought he had a bad memory. Then he thought he needed more vocabulary. Then he thought maybe he wasn't talented enough. But none of those things were true. The real problem was much simpler. And when he discovered the reason, everything started changing. We'll come back to his story later. But first, let's understand what's really happening inside your brain. Here's the biggest mistake most learners make. They collect English words, but they don't use English words. Think about that for a moment. Many learners spend hours memorizing vocabulary lists. They save screenshots. They write words in notebooks. They watch lesson after lesson. They learn more and more vocabulary, but they rarely use those words in real situations. Imagine joining a gym. You watch exercise videos every day. You read books about fitness. You learn the names of every exercise, but you never actually lift weights. Will your muscles become stronger? Of course not. The same thing happens with English. Learning words is important, but using words is what creates speaking ability. Remember this sentence. Words become strong when you use them. Words become weak when you only study them. Let me say that again. Words become strong when you use them. Words become weak when you only study them. This simple idea can completely change the way you learn English. Now let's talk about the first solution. Tip number 1. Learn words in context. Many learners try to memorize individual words. For example, they learn hungry, excited, comfortable, beautiful, important, useful. But the brain doesn't always remember isolated information very well. The brain loves situations, stories, pictures, emotions, connections. Instead of learning the word hungry, learn a complete sentence. I'm hungry. Let's eat something. Instead of learning the word tired, learn I'm tired after a long day. Instead of learning the word excited, learn I'm excited about learning English. Can you feel the difference? Now, the word has a situation. The word has a purpose. The word has a memory attached to it. And because of that, your brain can find it faster during a conversation. Starting today, every time you learn a new word, learn one complete sentence with it. Not just the word. The sentence. The sentence. The sentence. That small habit can make a huge difference. Now let's move to tip number 2. Use new words immediately. Here's a simple question. When should you use a new word? Tomorrow? Next week? Next month? No. Use it today. Use it immediately. The faster you use a word, the stronger it becomes in your memory. Let's do a quick exercise together. Imagine you learned the word proud. Now create a sentence. I am proud of my progress. Say it again. I am proud of my progress. One more time. I am proud of my progress. Excellent. You just helped your brain create a stronger connection. Many learners wait for the perfect moment to use new vocabulary. The perfect moment never comes. Use the word now. Use it in a sentence. Use it in your diary. Use it in a voice recording. Use it while talking to yourself. The more quickly you use it, the longer you'll remember it. Now here's something very interesting. What if the real problem isn't vocabulary? What if the real problem is translation? Let's talk about tip number 3. Think in English. This may be one of the most powerful habits for improving fluency. Many learners hear a question in English. Then they translate it into their native language. Then they create an answer. Then they translate the answer back into English. This process takes time. And during that time, words often disappear. The brain becomes slow. The conversation becomes stressful. Instead, start training yourself to think directly in English. Not perfectly, not all day, just little by little. Look around your room. What do you see? A chair, a table, a phone, a window. Now describe them in simple English. My phone is on the table. The room is quiet. The window is open. The chair looks comfortable. Simple sentences. Very simple, but extremely powerful. Now let's try a small challenge. Imagine you just woke up. Think, I need some coffee. Imagine you're walking outside. Think, the weather is nice today. Imagine you're tired after work. Think, I want to relax. No translation, just simple English thoughts. At first, it may feel difficult. That's normal, but every day your brain becomes faster and faster and faster. Soon, you'll notice something surprising. English words will start appearing more naturally. Why? Because you're teaching your brain to think in English instead of translating everything. Now let's talk about a secret method that many successful learners use. Tip number 4. Practice retrieval. This sounds like a complicated word, but the idea is simple. Most learners read vocabulary again and again, again and again, again and again. But reading is not the same as remembering. Let's imagine you learned 10 new words today. Instead of looking at them 20 times, close your notebook. Then ask yourself, what words can I remember? Now your brain must search. Your brain must work. Your brain must retrieve information. And that's exactly what strengthens memory. The student I mentioned earlier started doing this every day. He stopped reading vocabulary endlessly. Instead, he tested himself. Sometimes he remembered 7 words, sometimes 5, sometimes only 3. But every time he searched his memory, his brain became stronger. Remember this. Learning happens when the brain struggles a little. That struggle is not a problem. That struggle is progress. Now let's move to the most important part of today's episode. Tip number 5. Create a daily speaking habit. Many learners believe they need 3 hours every day. They think they need expensive courses. They think they need perfect grammar. They think they need native speakers available all the time. But that's not true. What you really need is consistency. 5 minutes every day is better than 1 hour once a week. Let me give you some simple ideas. First, talk to yourself. Yes. Talk to yourself. Describe what you're doing. I'm making breakfast. I'm checking my phone. I'm going to work. Simple English. Simple practice. Second, keep an English diary. Every night, write 3 or 4 sentences. Today was a busy day. I learned something new. I watched an English video. I'm proud of my progress. Nothing complicated, just simple communication. Third, record your voice. Many learners avoid this, but it works. Choose one topic. Speak for 1 minute. Then listen to yourself. You'll notice strengths. You'll notice mistakes. And you'll notice improvement over time. Fourth, join an English community. Find people who are learning like you. Share ideas. Share experiences. Practice together. You don't need perfect English. You only need the courage to participate. And fifth, repeat sentences from podcasts and videos. Not individual words. Complete sentences. Copy the rhythm. Copy the pronunciation. Copy the flow. This trains your speaking muscles. And yes, speaking muscles are real. The more you use them, the stronger they become. Now let's return to the student from the beginning of today's episode. Remember him? The learner who thought he had a bad memory. A few months later, he sent me another message. This time his message was different. He said, "John, something strange happened today." I asked, "What happened?" He said, "I was having a conversation in English, and the words came naturally. Not every word, not perfect English, but much better than before, much faster than before, much more comfortable than before." What changed? Did he suddenly become a genius? No. Did he memorize thousands of new words? No. Did he move to America or England? No. He simply started using English every day. He learned words and sentences. He used new vocabulary immediately. He thought in English. He practiced retrieval, and he built a daily speaking habit. Little by little, day by day, his confidence grew, his fluency improved, and his forgotten words started coming back. Before we finish, let's quickly remember today's lessons. Learn words in context. Use new words immediately. Think in English. Practice retrieval. Create a daily speaking habit. Simple ideas. Powerful results. And remember something important. You are not forgetting words because you're bad at English. You are not forgetting words because you're not smart. You are forgetting words because your brain needs more opportunities to use English actively. That's all. And the good news is that you can start fixing that today. Right now. My friend, fluency is not built in one day. It is built one sentence at a time, one conversation at a time, one habit at a time. Don't be discouraged when you forget a word. Every English learner forgets words. Even fluent speakers forget words sometimes. The goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. Keep listening. Keep speaking. Keep practicing. Keep moving forward. Because every small step matters. And one day, you'll notice something amazing. The words that once disappeared from your mind will start appearing naturally. The conversations that once felt difficult will start feeling easier. And the confidence you're looking for today will become part of who you are. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm John, and this is Learn English Unleashed. Take care. Keep learning. Keep believing in yourself. And I'll see you in the next episode.